There we go. All right, cool. All right, thanks everyone for joining tonight. Got some cool stuff to show you, and then of course we'll have some space at the end to talk about anything that's been going on in the pond or in the towns or in the communities. It's been a bit since our last meeting, but honestly, with everything that's been going on, it might be maybe it's a little bit better for quality of the meetings so we can like talk about more stuff that happens on in between. And Lou, I'm just curious. I just wanted to start off. Is there any update from like the dam commission? Have you guys had a recent meeting or anything like that?
Not much, other than we're waiting for them to start the work, which should be pretty soon.
Is it in July?
Yeah,
The start? Yeah. Cool.
we're
Awesome.
going to be meeting once a week on site on every Tuesday morning to see the progress. And it's a scheduled meeting with Callahan. And so that should be
Cool.
pretty interesting. Our first meeting is July 8th.
July 8th. Okay. Do you guys have any plans to like do a little like update on that or anything? Like to like send it out to the communities or
I hadn't thought about it. I mean, I know we're going to meet our group.
yeah.
I mean, we could. It's going to take all summer. So, I mean, we're going to be at least getting an update. And we could somehow pass it on, I guess.
Yeah. I
Is that
mean, I
something
think
that people could go to the boat ramp and walk over?
No, they're gonna be fencing it in, and we have to be OSHA approved. We gotta wear hard hats,
Yeah,
reflective
okay. It's not
vests.
really open to the public. The
No,
meetings aren't
no,
public.
they're trying to restrict as much people as possible. It's gonna actually become like theirs once we give it over to them. So,
Yeah, that's understandable.
yeah,
It's a construction site.
yeah.
yeah, I mean, honestly, I just want to make a plug, Lou. You guys should definitely take pictures of of its progress and stuff, just to at least have some historical record of it. And if you guys, I mean, I'm willing to post an update once a week. It doesn't have to be a lot, just even like a couple sentences about what they're working on or whatever, or what's going on, and then like a picture or two. I think that would be really good for just informing people like the progress and what's going on and stuff.
Well, even
Um,
for historical purposes.
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
I'll do that.
Cool. Awesome. Thanks. Sorry, just recording that down. Awesome. Thanks, Lou. Appreciate that. All right. Justin has been doing a lot of awesome work on the back end with some help from an intern uh, working on our website. So I just wanted to showcase some of that cool stuff. And I'll share my screen right now. We are having some help with the website, which has been good. We're working on still getting a bunch of other information on there too, but I just wanted to let everyone know the donate page or membership page is active. So people can make donations and help support the nonprofit right on our website right now, which is good. We also have a contact form, which is active and live. And we actually got a few messages or a message from it last night, which was great to see. So cool stuff. People can submit questions to us or comments or anything like that. I believe our socials are linked too, which is good. And Justin, I don't know if you want to say anything about it, but seriously, awesome. Thank you so much for taking that on. So,
Thanks, Nick. He's at track practice. I'm filling his shoes. I will let him know how grateful everyone is.
okay, cool. Awesome.
Oh, I didn't know he was running track. Good for him.
Cool.
You know, if anybody's noticed, we got over 300 members on Facebook now.
I did see that. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's definitely building. I'm seeing a lot of traffic on participation from people. Still looks like getting new members all the time. So I think one thing that we really want to focus on, and I'll stop sharing my screen so it's not just that. But I think one thing that we really want to focus on this year, and we'll talk about a lot more in our annual meeting, but really just focusing on engagement and outreach and really building out our base to everybody that's in the the surrounding pond area and the general community. We really think that positioning ourselves and like building our base while we are in this little transition period while the dam is being rebuilt is a good time to do that. So we will have some information to talk about um, at the annual meeting. We're going to talk about a little bit about membership, what some additional stuff that entails, and then we are going to hopefully have a great time at our annual meeting. And I just want to showcase that again. That is going to be on. That's going to be on August 10th at 11 a.m. At the same place it was last time. So that was at 44 Sunset Cove in Wales. And I'll have a more official post and information on that as time goes on. So that should be, that information should be out within the next few weeks. So also too, you might see a few posts from our page and from me on the website, on the Facebook page coming up soon with the 4th of July. One thing that has a lot of phosphorus in it is fireworks, and essentially like try not necessarily, of course, don't do fireworks, but try to pick up the remains of the fireworks after they're shot. And we'll have a couple posts about that, some information about how you can help, but they do contain a lot of phosphorus, and a lot of that stuff does go into the pond through runoff. So we will be making some posts about that, and hopefully doing a couple little series of some educational talks coming up. So Georgia and Anthony went, two of our board members, they went to the Maine Lakes Association annual meeting and attended quite a few of those conferences for our group. Georgia, I don't know if you want to talk about some of it and some of the things you found interesting. But.
There was a lot of information about, well, the theme was at the edge of the lake. So a lot of the workshops were about what happens at a lake's edge. So there were workshops about breakout groups about native plantings.
Hey, Georgia, I
Yes.
think you're coming in really quiet. I don't know if you can pull
Oh,
your,
really?
yeah, pull your the mic on your cord, like a little bit closer to your face. Yeah.
All right. So there were sessions about riparian zones, native planting, phosphorus runoff. One of the best sessions that Anthony and I went to was a group of Lake Association members, Togus, George's Pond. There were a few others. Talk about what challenges they had encountered, how some of these associations grew their membership. So it was great. It was $55 to go. We learned a lot. I would definitely recommend that people attend, whoever can, next year. It was a great learning experience.
Awesome. Thanks so much. And stemming from that, they got a lot of awesome resources that we're kind of wading through now. And we'd really like, we're going to start reaching out to some of those speakers that they had at that event and try to get them to come and speak to our group as well. So maybe we can have like a little series of like educational talks about some specific stuff. I guess I wanted to ask, is there anything specific that you all want to know more information about, to hear from an expert or anything like that? Once we get a little schedule and receive maybe some responses back from those speakers or from other speakers, I'll have like a list going. But is there anything off the bat that people are interested about? Like, are you interested about like some of the species in the lake or the impact that the water quality can have on that? That might be something for a limnologist, someone who studies ponds and lakes, or maybe even a biologist. And there's nothing saying we can't or I can't reach out to a biologist with the state of Maine or anything like that, and then have them come speak for us or speak to us. We've done a couple of those series in the past, and we think it's kind of like a really good informational thing, and we'd really like to do more of that moving forward.
Nick, if I could, this is Anthony. If I could just add to what Georgia said,
Yeah,
one of the things. Well, first of all, it was inspirational. So I certainly came away just feeling hopeful that okay, we're heading in the right direction, and it takes time. And nobody was there saying it happened overnight, but it takes investment from people who live there and volunteering. And one of the things that I think would be great to hear about is how they built their membership, especially since, like you said, that should be a focus in the next year. We have 300 people or so on Facebook. How do we get those 300 people, or at least a good number of those, to pay dues and be, an active member? The other piece was but the
sorry, AB, I think you might be lagging out a
all
bit.
materials. Hello? Hello?
Oh,
That
there we
sounds
go.
Okay. I was going to say all the materials I think are available on the website for anybody, even if you didn't go. There's some great PowerPoints, so we can send that around and people can take a look at it. Maybe that if people do take a look at it, there might be something in there that strikes them as, boy, I'd love to hear more about that at one of our meetings, and then we can follow up and see if we can get that speaker to come and present.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm gonna get that link, AB, right now and actually put it in the chat. And we can make a more formal post about it too. Here we go. All right. So I'm going to put that in the chat, and I can share the page and talk about. Oh, thanks. Oh, that's for the website. Thank you for sharing the website. And I'll share my screen a little bit so we can see what we're talking about. But this is the conference that they attended on June 13th. And it had a lot of different types of speakers, like they had talked about, a lot of different types of subjects, all related to the same types of problems or similar problems that our pond is dealing with and in relevance. So great stuff. There's a bunch of resources here. There's slides, slide decks. You can scroll through and check them out. And we'd like to also share them on our page too. So really cool experience and really thankful for Georgia and AB for going. Thanks again. All right. Okay. Lastly, I actually would like to say some really good news here. I got word back about the grant and we got it. So that's great to hear. Yeah, I got word back yesterday from our now partner at the Androscoggin Soil and Valley Androscoggin Valley Soil and Water Conservation District Association or group. So that's great. They're working on finalizing the contract right now, but it's looking great. We won that grant. So I just wanted to talk. We'll of course have more details to come. But I just wanted to talk a little briefly about the grant itself. And then we can, here we go. Sorry, just opening it up right here. But exciting stuff. Total, it's going to be about 8,000 roughly in actual funds that we receive. And then we had to contribute about 50% in kind, but we were able to all cover that with in-kind donations of things. So that worked out great. And just to kind of talk about let me share my screen real quick.
Is this for the watershed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had talked a long time about our plans to, recreate or reactivate a new watershed plan, which then would give us access to larger grants like 319 grants and things like that, which is like where a lot of the remediation and like work or funding to implement the watershed plan comes from. But we need to have an active watershed plan. And since the dam repair is kind of causing a little bit of a different scenario this year for the pond, it's like an abnormal year for it. The water level is going to be really down. It's not going to have the same. It's not going to have the same type of conditions that it typically has. So it's not really a good year to like use it for study. We still wanted to do something, and we wanted to still move forward with our plan and not have to lose a year. So I met with Emma from the Androscoggin Valley Soil and Water Conservation District, and a couple members from the state, and we talked about the best option for us to pursue a grant while not losing, essentially a year. And they recommended applying for this Maine State Revolving Fund for environmental remediation, and told us that we could do a portion of like the beginning setup stages on the exterior of the pond, not within the pond. We could start laying some of that groundwork with this grant and this funding. So a couple of things that it kind of covers, just some key tasks. It covers the creation of a steering committee to talk about, these types of things. That's going to kick off in 2020 or later this year. That date, this is an old file. This has all been updated, but it uses updated tax commitment books to refine a watershed mailing list. It's essentially like it's like the outreach and engagement phase for this process. That would be step one. And then two is like the actual reaching out to those landowners and survey preparation. It involves like postcard mailings for informational purposes, which is good. And the good part about this is we're going to be building a list of community members that we know are currently on the pond. And we will have that information after the fact. So it's kind of like twofold that way. And it's beneficial for us as an organization, and it's beneficial for us in this work that we're doing here. So the next one is volunteering and training to do some watershed surveying, and then that execution of that. We will need volunteers to do that. I plan to come back for that whenever we schedule it. It will involve essentially like 1 day's worth of training and 1 day worth of doing the actual watershed survey. From my understanding, it's essentially like we need about like 14 people collectively, and it would just be like being broken up into sections of the lake in pairs of twos, and then like notating specific things like excessive erosion, any like conditions around the pond that might decrease its water quality, any types of invasive plants, and that training process will teach us how to do this type of stuff. So that's great. And then the next is a lot up to the Androscoggin Soil or Androscoggin Valley Soil and Water Conservation District. They will be then compiling the information that we've all gathered and collected, and then they will be compiling into reports, and we'll be using that as a portion of the foundation that we'll use for the watershed plan. It's really cool. I'm really excited that we were able to get this. Like I said, total, it is worth about $16,000. So it actually is an awesome thing. And very thankful to Emma over there and Addie from the state of Maine, who a lot of my questions, and I was able to write a successful grant for us. So exciting stuff. But more information to come on it. I just wanted to let everyone know the good news about that.
It's great news. Thanks, Nick.
Yeah, of course.
Makes us feel more legit. We're getting money, government money.
Yeah.
Seriously.
All right. Cool. We are about halfway through. That is actually all the info that I had to talk about today. Like I said, there will be more info on the grant in the future. I'd like to talk a lot about it more in detail with a presentation. So everybody just knows what's going on at our annual meeting. We'll all be in person. I think it'll be a good time. And but I want to open up the floor for anything that's going on at the pond right now. How's recreation been going? Have people been getting out there? I know the pond is lowering, but I think Ken said that it's going slow. So did anybody get a chance to get out on the pond within the last month or anything like that? No.
We were up last weekend. I think I saw 4 boats the whole day.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot more activity right before they opened. I think people knew. So there was one Friday when the weather was nice. Saw a bunch of people out, but nothing since. It's getting quiet.
Yeah. Yeah. I know it's probably a lot of work to put in the dock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went paddleboarding a few days ago, and I noticed there was like 5 dead fish, which I didn't know if that was because of somebody had fished, because there was a boat not far and just let them like that, or 3 were hornpout. I hadn't seen hornpout in years. But I don't know.
Where was that at, Lou?
It was near Bonnet Cove area. All 5 of them.
Huh.
I
Okay.
haven't seen any dead fish.
But fish wouldn't die just from the water going down, right?
Well, the increase in heat recently.
Oh, yes,
and
it's
the lowering.
temperature, yeah.
Yeah. If they were in a specifically like more shallow spot or a spot that got a lot of sun, it could really, really increase the temperature.
Yeah.
But it could be a lot of things. Like Lou said, it could even have been those fishermen. So maybe just everyone keep an eye out. And if you notice any algae blooms, definitely feel free to post them on our Facebook page. And please email me the locations of them. My email is on the Facebook page. It's on the website. But we're still doing that collection of data of like community science data. And here I can share my screen real quick to show you guys all the stuff we had from last year, which was awesome.
Any update on the t-shirts?
Yes.
They are on my dining room table.
Yeah.
They arrived yesterday. So I'll put Justin in charge of distributing, but if you want to pick them up or we can deliver, we'll come up with a plan. But they're here and they're really cool.
Awesome.
Okay, because we'll be here for a couple of days. We could swing over and get them.
Oh, great. Yeah, I'll have you. I work from home. So if anyone wants to swing by, we're at 44 Sunset. And I'll post, I'm just going to put my phone number in the chat. So if you just want to give me a heads up so you don't scare me when you arrive, you can just text me.
Okay. What's the number?
I'm putting it in the chat. It's 207-831-7732. And I'm sure Justin will be happy to deliver some too if it's well, I'm signing him up for it just because he's not here to speak for himself, so I can volunteer him.
Yeah, you're not that close to us, so if you can deliver them to us, that would be great.
Yes, just leave a bottle of wine for me on the porch, and I'll trade you. The joke there is that they shipped wine to me at the address so I could collect it for them. Anyway,
yeah, because they don't ship to Massachusetts.
Awesome. So, and you can also pick them up at our annual event if you plan on attending that too and had ordered them. I think we ordered some, we had about like 10 left over or something like that?
That's a Justin question, but I have a box full.
Well, yeah, we ordered them all, but we'll
there's
still
extra
have available. Yeah, extra available, varying sizes, because we had to try to just guess, but there could be some more available there will be some more available at the annual event, and hopefully we can use some of that to then get some more shirts and t-shirts and stuff.
Happen.
Awesome.
Yeah. Cool. Great. let's see. Anything else that's going on in the lake around the towns? I know Sabattus had its town meeting a little while ago. It's a little interesting for sure, but I think Wales town meeting might be coming up, and Greens is going to be in August. Lou?
I
Yeah,
think so. Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, how many paid members do we have in our association?
I think the last number was it like 21 or 22 or something? I think it was, yeah.
So it hasn't
Right.
gone up much. That's pretty
Well,
small.
we had a new member join last night, and I'll actually Mike. He's on right now, and Mike, I don't know if you want to unmute and just introduce yourself, but he's been around the pond since the early 2000s. But
Which Mike?
oh, sorry, not you, Mike. Mike, yeah, there
Can
are
you hear
two
me?
mics on here.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I can't see. There's no picture, but that's fine.
Oh,
But yeah, hi. My name is Mike Perry. I'm over here on Sanborn side of the lake, on Route 130 or off Route 132, and I became a member. Yesterday or this morning or yesterday, whatever. But I've got history here as far as being on the lake. My parents purchased this place back in the early 70s, and I was fortunate enough to my parents sold it to me, but I was fortunate enough to purchase the house in the early 2000s, and I've been here since. And a lot of activity has been on this side. I know that for sure. So again, I became a member, and I'm really looking forward to getting to know each and every one of you to participate in the Sabattus Pond Watershed project, and to contribute, to do my part, moving forward. So whatever there's a chance to contribute, I'm gonna definitely do my part. And I think what was it, Leslie? I'm definitely interested in a T-shirt. So
Oh, great.
I'll be the first one to purchase one here. If you said Sunset, is that off of 132?
Yeah, we're off Ralph Drive.
Yeah. Is that by the cemetery?
Further down by the Sanborn Farm.
Sanborn Farm. Okay. I guess I can I can text you or whatever, but
Text me your size and you can swing by. I'm happy
all
to.
right.
Yeah.
What's the price on those?
Nick, do you remember? So my husband usually takes care of all this.
Oh, okay. All right.
Was it say 25 for the t-shirts? I don't remember, and I don't want to give you bad information.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
yeah. It is. I think it is 25, and if you got a size that was like larger than a 2XL, it was like an extra $3 or something like
All
that.
right, that's fine. I have a general idea.
No,
What's
and I
that?
want to get these out so we can start wearing them, and people will ask, and everyone's going to want one. It's going to be great.
What size
Yeah.
are you?
I'm going to take an
What's-
extra large.
Okay, we have two extra large that are in olive. Olive, if that is okay. Olive color.
Olive is. I feel like I should display them, but
I have
I have the list right here.
oh, good.
Does Mike need help putting on his camera?
I don't know how does that work, but
It says,
go ahead.
yeah. Oh, sorry. It says that the video is not even connected, so I'm not entirely sure. I don't think it's just a button on this one. But are you on your phone, Mike, or?
No, I'm on the computer. That's why I had to send it to my
Oh, okay.
the
Yeah.
link to my email instead of the phone.
Are you on a laptop or are you on a desktop?
I'm on a laptop.
Oh, okay. Does it have a camera?
Say that, pardon me?
Does it have a camera?
Yeah, it has a camera.
Oh, okay.
It's actually, I've only had this laptop for a couple of months, so, and I'm not too savvy when it comes to computers, internet, the tech.
You could be, you just need to turn on the camera on the Zoom channel up toward the top, the three dots.
I'm looking at my hold on a second. Oh man, when it comes to this stuff, it's just not. Hold on.
Okay, you're not alone.
Yeah.
All
No
right.
worries.
It's
Yeah.
probably harder to see because Nick's sharing his screen.
Oh yeah, let me
If you touch the three dots at the screen, over on the side, there's a camera. That might turn it on for you.
No, it's not.
maybe I can.
Workplace Zoom. That's probably a good thing. It's probably a blessing in disguise. So
I'm pretty sure you're a real person, Mike, who exists. So
I am. I'm not a robot. That's for
not a
sure.
real.
I can assure you that.
Well, we're neighbors, so
Well-
you shoot me a text and I'll hold on to a shirt for you.
Yeah. Okay. No. And what other colors do you have, or is that it for now?
I know, AB, we ordered extras in the olive, like a dark green, like an army green. It's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Okay.
And I don't know if all the light blue ones are spoken for or there's gray. I should unpack the box, but I'll show you when you get here. Oh,
All right.
Diane wants a t-shirt. If you don't mind texting me, that would be great. And then I can.
Yeah. No, I will. Yeah. Absolutely.
Well,
Okay.
I saw Diane in the chat. Was that you? Yeah, just shoot me a text. And yes, of course, you can come pick it up.
All right. Because I
And
may
hope-
purchase one for my daughter. I don't mean to interrupt.
Great.
But I was going to maybe purchase one for my daughter. You know, she would be I guess like a medium, I think. Do you have mediums? Do you go down that low?
I will do an inventory. I'll make
Oh,
sure Justin
okay.
has the list. He'll be home later tonight. So I'll, and
Yeah, there's no rush. I can give you till whatever, till like Friday or over the weekend or, you know, something like that. And all right, so
Yeah.
we'll reach out and just let me know, and then we'll go from there. And okay,
I do
sounds
have
good.
the list of available shirts right
Yeah,
here.
we have
Oh, great.
medium.
Local.
Yep,
We have medium.
there should be 5 larges, 2 mediums, 3 extra larges, and then 1 double XL. So
Okay.
yeah,
And those were all in the olive. Do you know
I think so because that was
Yeah.
honestly the most
The
color
most
that
popular.
everybody chose.
Yeah.
So
What we did
just
is
ordered them.
we ordered the 11 additional and just said most people ordered olive and gray. So, you know, we told them you mix them up the way you want. So I don't know what
Yeah.
color they are,
Great.
but we can get more. It's
Well, and I love this. So I think what's
Yeah.
going to happen, like everyone's going to want a shirt. This is great. I'll make sure we get through this first shipment, but this is not the last opportunity. So
Yeah,
once
no.
we're out of
And
these.
I'm
and we
gonna
get- yeah.
I bought a sweatshirt and I'm gonna wear it even if it's 90 degrees on that day.
Oh,
to make-
sorry, AB. That's mine now because
I
I,
want,
didn't order one and it's really cool. So
Is it
that's
really?
mine.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping
Yes.
that people will see it and say, "Oh, I want one of those too."
They're great.
If I could say it, something out, do you have hats along with this, or is that in the works, or is that not gonna?
I like the way you think.
Yeah, we're really getting through this first round of swag. This was actually a donation that came in this first round. And then we're looking at different vendors with different
Sure.
products. But that's something we're going to need to raise a little more, to set that up. There'll be a cost. So we just want to make sure we have enough
Right.
in the hopper to do that. But you have these vendors who they'll put the logo on pretty much anything and they'll ship direct.
Right.
AB, I know you had done a bunch of research. So that's
Yeah.
another thing that's on our list. After this first round, maybe we can figure something out before the annual meeting and then people can just ship direct, which will be great.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
I
hey,
have
Nick,
a hat too.
Nick, I want to get off the subject just for a second, but when you do when you survey the lake, do you take a canoe out or a boat out, or and do the shoreline at all, or is that done by foot, or how's that work?
So
Or do you do it by drone or?
So most of the stuff this year for this grant that we just got is actually going to probably be shoreline stuff or like outside of the actual body of water. But that doesn't necessarily mean that there won't be an opportunity, later after like in another grant to do that type of stuff too, because eventually they will need to be taking samples and doing things like that to collect that data. So I am not 100% sure if it will be included in this one, but we will definitely need people to walk the shores. I do know that is definitely going to be a thing. So,
And walk the shores, do you mean that's done in the fall? Or do you know, because we can't obviously go on people's property when,
Yeah.
but is that, how does that, that's why I mentioned the drones. I didn't know
Yeah.
if the Sabattus Pond, if the association was maybe investing in a drone where, we could go, maybe on a boat, but from the boat have someone operate a drone to where we could go, deeper on the shoreline, if that's legal. I mean, I guess there would be more to investigate with that, but if that was doable to see, where erosion would begin, or you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm
Absolutely.
just
Yeah. I mean,
curious.
yeah. So
Go
part of the
ahead.
process is going to be about like getting permission from landowners and stuff like that. It's a great question. And potentially that could be like something that we do. Um, like I said, they're working on the signing of the contract right now, but
Okay.
I know we will in fact need volunteers. So, but we actually have, I think Justin has a friend who did have a drone, right, Leslie? And that's how we got some videos of that clear cutting back a couple, like almost, geez, a couple of years ago now.
Yeah, he did a great like overview and got up there. Justin's still not here, so he's like, maybe I need to buy a drone. And I said no, but we'll figure that out.
Yeah.
But on that note too, and it just reminded me, there's something else happening up on the hill further down in Wales off 132 where I think they're cutting again because I can hear it. I haven't been out that way, but they did some more clearing. And it sounds just like it did the last couple of years with the constant sort of sawing and the trees. So not really sure what's going on there, but it looks like they're cutting some more. FYI, further down from Wales towards Monmouth.
Down towards Monmouth. Okay. Like where,
Now,
corner area?
It's not that, so past the Sanborn farm on 132, there's like a little, we noticed just driving to the dump, they've cleared like a place on the side of the road on the right. So if you're outbound on the right, and we're like, oh, wondering what they're doing there. And then I just started over the past couple of days hearing that same, and I know anyone on the road, AB and Georgia, you probably remember like that constant that sawing and cutting noises. I know. So I haven't been by it, but it sounds familiar, and it's just a little bit further up from where they did the last clear cut
Okay.
towards Monmouth.
I've been by there. They don't seem to be over there all the time. It almost looks to me like someone's maybe putting a house in there.
Putting in a house or something. Yeah.
Yeah,
Again,
because
I've
they're
only
not
heard it
there
the
all.
last couple days. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I know they started up the hill more. They cleared out an area and now they're starting up the hill, and they do have these boards or whatever so they can climb up the hill, get up there, because early on when we had the rain, it was pretty muddy in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure. It's just something I observed. So, it could.
Yeah, it's just before, probably a half a mile before the horse farm. Oh God, I can't even think of the name of it. I live right across the street from it. Unexpected farm. Yes, I knew it was something catchy.
We'll figure it out together. We got this.
Yeah, it'd be just before Dixon Road then.
Yes. Yes, it's like right across from where the company there that has the pit where they have
That's right.
Stuff.
Yeah.
The gravel pit.
Shaw.
Yes, Shaw.
This thing right here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. If anybody sees anything, just keep an eye out. One of the biggest things with the clear cutting, and I think we did have some photos of this the year that happened, is a lot of runoff and washout in these areas over here on 132. If you see something happens, if there's some heavy rain and you notice a lot of water coming down from Sabattus Mountain or coming down from that area, definitely snap a pic and keep track of where that location is and just shoot me an email. I did want to just show one last thing, just a quick timeline because you guys had asked about it. But this is the perspective timeline that we recommended. So in winter 2025, starting that steering committee, doing the outreach, doing mapping, like as in mapping the community members. And I can zoom in too, so this is a little bit larger. Spring 2026, conducting the survey. Summer 2026, Androscoggin Valley Soil and Water Conservation District would do the analysis. And then in fall 2026 to winter 2026, finalize that report, and then our next phase of planning. So there will probably be some additional grant application probably in the spring of 2026, just anticipating. So because it will be awarded in fall 2026. So again, we won't miss another year. We'll probably do some more grant prep and submission in spring of 2026. And then hopefully we'll find out about that larger part of this grant, or the larger part of our plan for this type of grant coming in and finishing out that 604B to set up our watershed plan. So a lot of cool things going on. Really appreciate your guys' time and continued engagement. And again, just at the end of this, I just want to say, if you're wondering what you can do, how you can help, you can, of course, become a member if you already aren't. Even if you, you can make just even smaller individual donations if you'd like. But I think most importantly is just I want to make a plug for talking to your neighbors, talking to your friends, talking to the people that live around you in this community. You guys found value and relevance in the stuff that we talk about and the work that we try to do, and other people will too. And I think it definitely people are more likely to get involved with something if that type of information comes from somebody they trust and somebody they know. So definitely you can be a conduit for, kind of increasing our group size or our meeting attendance, and even though it's not all about money, we want people to just learn and really come to these meetings and just learn more about the environment in which they live, which I think we talk about a lot. We have a lot of information to support that type of stuff. But I would love to see, you guys feel empowered to feel comfortable enough to talk to people about this and, say, hey, check out the Facebook page or check out YouTube. So.
Pauline, are there any alternatives to the boat parade this year?
Not that I've heard of. It's kind of tough unless everybody gets in a kayak or
canoe or
paddleboard.
Boards and kayaks.
Yeah, Lou could lead it off with his paddleboard.
Yeah.
A four-wheeler parade.
We can all put red, white, and blue streamers on, and
well, the lake is looking good enough to swim.
It looks beautiful. Actually, I had a question. It's really weird. I woke up last night and we all have different forms of sparklers and fireworks. You know that for weeks, starting this past week, people are shooting off fireworks and they're all towards the water. And as beautiful as the lake looks right now, and as hot as it's been, I'm knocking on wood, it's still pretty clear. But then I found myself wondering, here I am sound asleep and I wake up thinking about how clear the water is and as opposed to how green it gets. And I found myself wondering, I know that when I've had neighbors right next door to me who have had thousands of dollars of fireworks, at the end of the display, my house and my furniture and my boat, when I had it, was covered in a fine dust. It was covered in different kinds of rocks and different kinds of cardboard for days. And it blew off my roof for weeks and even months. And I wonder, because, the glory of the 4th of July goes on for a month around the lake and all over the lake. And it's beautiful. But I wonder how much of that contributes to the bloom, because it's happening everywhere. with many, many people. And I wonder, I don't know, the gunpowder, the dyes, and all the stuff, including the cardboard and the rocks. And I have to admit that I've seen some of my neighbors kick even the trays that hold that stuff right into the water.
Yeah.
And I just wonder how much of that contributes to the bloom.
So that's a great question, and I actually talked about it a little bit before you got in.
Okay. I'm sorry, I was late.
Oh, no. I'm just saying, like, it's funny you mention it because it's stuff that we were thinking about too. So definitely with the 4th of July coming up, there are two main things about fireworks and their impacts on the environment. There are chemical pollutants and there are, of course, debris pollutants. So you described them, those pieces of cardboard, the pieces of the actual apparatus, and then, of course, the chemical pollutants. And they contain a lot of phosphorus and they contain a lot of heavy metals, which is not good for a pond, especially a pond in our condition. If somebody does feel the need to set off fireworks above all else, there's not much that we can do to stop them, but maybe helping educate about the impacts of it would maybe deter them in the future or deter maybe the amounts that they do. But we would love to see that if you are going to do fireworks or you are going to do sprinklers, try not to let that debris or those chemicals go into the pond. Please pick up after, the stuff. Don't leave the sprinklers on the ground or the debris on the ground because, if it rains on July 5th, all of that just washes right in. Honestly, if it rains on July 10th and it's still on the ground, all of that washes in. So, the impact it's a great question if it impacts. I would say any amount of phosphorus would certainly impact the amount of algae bloom in the pond or the intensity or frequency of algae bloom in the pond. I would probably say that, compared to the external loading of the entire watershed, fireworks are probably a lot smaller of an impact than a contributor to that. They certainly do, but we're all about trying to change behavior, trying to change values to create a more sustainable watershed for us, and that comes with these little steps. Things like changing to a non-phosphorus fertilizer for your lawn, or things like that. So little things like that, changing the behavior, maybe not lighting off fireworks towards the pond is a good thing, and I would highly recommend that. So definitely pick up the stuff if anybody does feel the need watching this afterwards to do fireworks. Maybe if your neighbor mentions it, you could be like, hey, it's not the best for the pond. Maybe you could just do sprinklers this year and then dispose of them or something like that. I know it's hard, but improving the water quality of an entire watershed is not easy, and it does require hard work, and it requires a lot of different changes for the people who live there. So thanks for bringing that up.
I'm remembering last year, speaking of unexpected farm, Diane, that the woman that owns that said that the fireworks really disturb her horses.
Yeah.
And probably dogs too. Diane, I bet she.
Oh yeah. My dogs go absolutely berserk. I have to give them medication every third. Yes. Yep.
My cat does as well.
The horses. I hear the horses too, but there's somebody on the street that when she finds out about that they're gonna shoot off fireworks, she goes up and lets the farm know, from what I understand.
Yeah.
Cassandra.
Yeah, Cassandra lives up next to them, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, vets too, PTSD is a real thing. But, we're not trying to stop anybody having a good time, just maybe try to think about having a good time a different way, especially around our pond. Those heavy metals and that phosphorus also has impact on aquatic life as well. So, just something to think about. We'll have some informational posts about it coming out before the 4th of July. So I appreciate you bringing it up. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose I was to blame at one point when I was leading the boat parade. There were people who were setting off fireworks when we were going by in the boat parade just to salute us.
I mean, people don't know what they don't know. So
no, and obviously I didn't know, and all of a sudden I thought about it last night. It just woke me up, and it was like, ugh.
Yeah, and we're certainly not in the blame game here. We're in the hoping to provide more information.
Right, it's educational.
Yeah. So awesome. Great. We are nearing towards the end. Anyone else want to say anything before? We got about 5 minutes, or as they say in the office world, I can give you back 5 more minutes of your time.
So Lou, what time are you starting the boat parade, the paddleboard?
I'll let you know. But I did want to let you know that because you can't get access with a boat, there won't be any water testing this year. You know, we used to do that twice a month, and I'm not speaking for Dan and Christine, but I'm sure they can't get out either. So,
yeah, I mean, the data would just be not an anomaly. A lot of, I think, yeah. So,
yeah, even if I could get out, it wouldn't be apples to apples.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it would be interesting to see if if they do get out there, what type of impacts it may have. But yeah. Comparing a year over year would certainly be different, I think.
Well, and anecdotally, just being out here, like, it does look pretty clear. And Jess and I were talking, like, maybe it's because the dam is open and the water's just turning over more than it would this time of year. But usually by the 4th, we see a bloom. So we'll keep an eye out and post pictures.
Yeah, no, I thought that too, especially with this large heat wave that just happened. I would not be surprised if within the next week you see a very large bloom happen, like one of the visual ones where you can see it all over the water. Because even though you can't see it, it doesn't mean it's not in bloom. It just means that it hasn't all reached the surface or hasn't propagated that all the way to the surface. So I would not be surprised if within the next, honestly, week you do see one. So just keep an eye out. Oh, there are also sustainable firework companies that do use materials that are. So one thing I'll do is maybe even post a link to a couple of those that are accessible in Maine or something like that. So awesome, great. Thanks so much, everyone.
Do we want to plan?
Thank you, Nick.
Thank you, Nick. Do we have another meeting?
Thanks, Nick.
Yeah, another meeting. So this is my extremely crazy season for my job down here in Philadelphia. I do outreach and engagement, and I work with surveys and data analysis for the Philadelphia Water Department. And summer, big time. Everyone's out doing block parties. Everyone's out doing events. So my schedule is pretty hectic. So I will definitely have us have a meeting probably in a little bit later in July. And I will post that when I know about my schedule a little bit going forward. So it'll probably be, I'm going to say probably no later than the second or third week in July. But I'll give you a more defined time, and I appreciate your flexibility. Yeah.
And Nick, sorry.
I was just going to say, did you say something about trying to have some educationals, like a speaker or something at some of these meetings?
Yeah. We'd really like to have like more like intention when we come and meet. I think we had a lot to talk about today, but I would love to have like our first half an hour or something be filled up with a speaker of some kind. So that way it can generate some information. We'll have it recorded. We can post it on the YouTube page, and we can ask this person questions about our pond and about the environment in which we all live. So yeah.
So you want us to send you suggestions?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, send me suggestions. If there's some specific things you want to learn about or you want to know more information about, let me know. We can, me and our board can definitely reach out to some contacts that we've come to know, and maybe even reach out to some contacts that we haven't known yet. So
the other thing, Nick, is I imagine we'll be sending out an email looking for to plan the annual meeting, like looking for people to volunteer to bring food and all that sort of stuff, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
So our meeting is on the 10th, the 10th of August. So before the 10th of July, I will send out all that info, and we can start planning that. It'll be the same thing as last time, like a little potluck style, same location, right on the shore. We had a gorgeous day last time. I don't think you could have asked for a better one. So hoping for the same thing, and we'll probably try to do it a little bit rain or shine.
We talked about renting a tent this year to be sure we can do it on that day. So we'll talk more.
Cool. Awesome.
All right.
Yeah, and remember, Leslie, that there's a guy on my road, AW Awning, that's their business.
Oh,
Oh, great. We'll check it out. Yeah,
Yeah, that's his name is Dean Waters.
great.
All
Thank
right.
Yeah.
Thanks for what you do, Nick.
yeah,
Yes,
no,
thank you.
thanks everyone for being engaged. Yeah, last plug, just talk to your neighbors. It's the best thing that can be done. So awesome. Thanks, everyone. Have a good night.
Bye all.
Happy 4th.
Happy
Yeah,
4th.
happy 4th. Thanks, Polly.
Bye.